Good morning. Another week of fair game Laguna Beach. I'm Tom Johnston, along with our mayor, Alex Rounaghi. Mayor, it's good to see you.
Morning, Tom. Great to be here.
So, are you recovering? Last week we chatted, and you had just come off a victory at the OC Fair Figure Eight Demolition Derby race. The bruises go away and everything. You healing fine?
Yeah, no, like I said, I didn't get any bruises, so it was just getting sponsorship requests and people giving me offers to go into that full time.
Yeah, it's funny because after we talked the next morning, I had coffee with the mayor of Newport Beach, and he was complaining about the bruising and everything, and also not thrilled that he did not win. So again, congratulations to you. So a lot of things going on around town. It's kind of that typical time in the I always refer to it kind of myself as the August doldrums,
Yeah,
where everything kind of slows down as we get ready for fall and everything. But still, couple of things going on. Um, let's see. We've got. I understand you're going to visit the pageant of the Masters for the first time this summer, this weekend.
I am going with my grandma and my great aunt as well as with my mom and my brother, and so I'm very much looking forward to seeing the pageant this year and also checking out the Sawdust, where I understand there's the live auction on Sunday that supports the artist fund. So
That's right.
looking forward to supporting the arts this weekend and spending time with family.
That's great. That's great. And you have not been to the pageant yet, am I correct?
Yeah, not this summer.
So what are you hearing about it? Any rave reviews or anything?
Yeah, everyone who I've talked to has given positive feedback about it, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
Now, you said you're going to go with your grandma and your great aunt. Is this something that grandma has seen before, or will it be her first time and will it blow her mind?
I think she probably saw it like 20, 25 years ago. But I'm not exactly sure, but she's very much looking forward to it.
Well, if she went 25 years ago, I mean, she could have seen it with you sitting on her lap.
Maybe.
I'm just easy. Anyway, well, that'll be fun and have a good time out there. It's always nice to share those things with family and everything. It's something
Yes.
also that as mayor of this city, you can be so proud when you have guests come into town to be able to take them to something like that, and
A good
to the
point.
artist benevolent fundraiser on Sunday. So good stuff. Nice to hear. Next week is the appeal of
Yes.
the fire station and the promenade. It's up in Calabasas. Will you drive up there or will you zoom in?
Yeah, so the Coastal Commission basically allows for, it's a two-step process with them where when someone makes an appeal, the commission gets to make the recommendation about whether the appeal should be heard, and if they find, and the question is whether there's no substantial issue, meaning that the appeal is effectively denied. And so, the Coastal Commission every month they meet in a different place in the state, and that's why they offer a Zoom option. So my plan is to, it's different than Laguna where you're, 10-minute drive from City Hall. At the Coastal Commission, it could be hours. And so I will be zooming in, on behalf of the city as it relates to the fire station appeal, which thankfully staff found that there was no substantial issue. And I also sent a letter to them, um, you know, 2 weeks ago, I believe, asking for this determination. And I think that the facts aligned with, what the coastal development permit requires. And so that was, it seemed like a pretty clear decision. They also, found no substantial issue as it relates to the promenade, which was appealed by Village Laguna to the Coastal Commission. And, here, once again, the staff recommendation was pretty clear in that there was no basis by which the Coastal Commission could argue that that the promenade, undermined coastal resources. And I think our city staff and our city ad hoc committee, led by Councilmember Kempf and Orgill, worked really well with the Coastal Commission to anticipate what their concerns might be and then to preemptively address them. So I'm looking forward to, I think Mark Orgill will be representing. They're right next back to back, but I think he might be speaking for the city as it relates to the promenade appeal, as he's been, more intimately involved. And so, I think the Coastal Commission, my goal would be that they, follow the evidence, follow their staff recommendation, and deny both appeals so we can move forward with both of these very important projects for our community at large.
So let's say it goes as you hope,
Yeah.
then would be the next steps. What would we see with that process?
I think the next step is that, both projects move forward or we continue getting bids as it relates to, the construction and move forward.
Okay, well, good stuff. Also, another event that's coming up, it's let's see, next Wednesday, which I believe is well, it's next Wednesday. It's the s survey town hall meeting online Zoom meeting. It's from 4:30 to 5:30. It's one of two planned. What are you hoping to accomplish with that?
Yeah, so I think earlier this year the city had Mark Orgill and Bob Whalen form an ad hoc committee related to, revenue enhancement measures to see if there was interest in any form of a revenue enhancement ballot initiative for the ballot. And my understanding is they've been working with a consultant on, putting out a survey just to gauge the interest of the community about any potential tax measure, and that would help determine how the city would move forward if we were to move forward on any measure. Because the goal, if we put something forward, would be to know that there was broad public support for it, and just to also understand priorities. Like, top of mind for me, and I think top of mind for most residents that I talk to, is fire prevention and figuring out how do we make sure that we have the resources that we need to effectively, protect the city and mitigate the risk of wildfire, which, as we know, is so significant. So I think like questions like that about, you know, what are the priorities, as well as, what are the types of tax measures that there would be more support for, will be kind of the goal of this survey. And so this town hall is an opportunity for, residents to share their input about, both their priorities that would be needed to fund, any revenue enhancement, and then also whether there's an interest in any revenue enhancement tools, and that would be, help put together the survey.
And I might remind people that are interested in that to go to the city website. You can get your login credentials there. But it's a good thing for people to get involved with. Another thing that's interesting is the last two issues we've talked about. You brought up Mayor Pro Tem Orgel and his involvement in different things. Just as a side note, I had lunch on Monday with Bob Chapman, real
Oh,
estate
yeah.
connoisseur in town and authority and on all of that and everything. And he was kind of beaming. He was kind of excited about we talked about the promenade a minute ago, and he was kind of excited about this new committee that is organizing to look at opportunities to attract new businesses down there and everything like that. And I don't need a comment from you unless you want to say something, but I could just tell you from his standpoint and being involved in that, he was extremely happy about it. So I think there's good things coming out of that, and kudos to Mark for working ahead on that.
Good. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Lastly, applications are due for the founding board of the Community Land Trust. Big title. What does it mean? And why should people get involved?
Yeah, so artist housing has been one of the goals of the city council, and because we're an artist community, and you can't call yourself an artist colony, without artists being able to live here. And so the goal has been some sort of a public-private partnership in the form of a land trust, where we have, a private a board, yeah, that maybe has a representative from the city, but largely is just residents who are generous with their time and money, and have an interest in, artist housing in Laguna Beach. And so the city is soliciting, applications to be on the founding board, and I think the idea is that this will be spun off into a nonprofit. At some point, apparently there are delays with the IRS, but that's the goal. And so, if anyone has any interest in that, they should, consider applying. I think, as you said, the application, did you say the end of the month is when they're due?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of, if there's going to be, artist living quarters and everything at some point that are going to be affordable and things like that, it's going to make me want to take up painting by numbers again. I used to do that as a kid, and if that would make me qualify, I might consider that. Anyway, we have a council meeting next Tuesday, and then are you getting any? I know you have relatives coming in for the weekend. Is the mayor getting any chances to relax and enjoy all the good things about Laguna Beach during this summer?
Yeah, I've been going to the beach every weekend. It's so nice out. The water is warm, and yeah, it's been a great summer in Laguna Beach.
Any any advice for people? I mean, where are some of the hidden gems you find to go to the beach?
Well, I'm not going to, share them because I don't want more people to know about them.
Okay, okay.
I'm just
But,
kidding.
now, when you go to the beach and you say you're enjoying the beach, I mean, do you go out in the water? And how far do you
Yeah.
go out if you go out?
Yeah, I usually will just I don't go out super far, but I jump in the water and yeah, the water feels really good right now.
The last time I was in the water at the ocean was in college, which is a few years back. And
That was the last time.
yeah, I got caught in an undertow, and it scared the heck out of me. And the furthest I've ever gotten back into the ocean is maybe halfway up my calves, and then I run as the wave comes, and I'm one of those guys.
Okay.
So, you won't find me out there. And it's funny I should say that because I grew up with an older brother who was a nationally ranked swimmer in this country, and he's the kind that would go to the beach and jump over dive over the waves or into the
Yeah.
wave, swim out a mile, and you'd think like, wow, what a crazy guy. And here I am. I mean, getting into a bathtub scares me. But anyway, Mayor, enjoy the weekend with relatives in town. And the wrap up the summer. We've got school in a couple weeks. We'll talk about that as we get closer. But have a good time and take care of this town.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.